Hi folks, and welcome back to Bougie Comfort Food. I'm your hostess, Mary Landry, and as a little respite from holiday food, we're having fajitas tonight. And I do make my own marinade for my meat and to cook my fajita meat in. So I'm going to show you how I do it today. And you can make homemade fajitas, and most of you probably already have these ingredients in your home right now. So if you go, wow, I'd love to do fajitas or chicken or beef or pork fajitas are good. If you're going to do shrimp though, those are a little bit different, and we'll show you those on a different day. So if you've never been with us before, this is Bougie Comfort Food. I am just a home cook. I am not a trained chef, but boy, I sure do like to eat, as you can tell by my big old belly sitting here next to the counter, but that's okay. Now, I will tell you how to adjust a few things for what you may have in your cabinets, and what the recipe should be and how to make those adjustments. Okay, let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do, I took stew meat and cut it into tongues of beef, okay? And it's about a pound and a half of stew meat, and just cut up into little thin pieces, okay? The other things you're gonna need, I've got a medium onion that I've cut up into small pieces, matchstick pieces. And I also have red, orange, and yellow stoplight peppers. Mine are mini peppers, but you can use the full size. And I've cut them into matchstick too, because cutting those into big old pieces, we wouldn't have near enough to go into these fajitas. So cutting them into matchstick just makes it better, and I just kind of mix them around together. If your onion and your pepper ratio looks about half and half, you've got enough. Okay guys, next step. Let's get this marinade on, because it needs to sit for at least an hour in our refrigerator. So the first thing we're going to need, and of course, I've got a brand new bottle and it hasn't been opened yet. Lucky me. All right, let's get that tab pulled. A little bit harder with a wet glove. I'm going to let my camera woman help me with that. So we're going to move on to the garlic powder. You need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now, remember what we said. We're going to put it into that jar. Now see, mine's a little clumpy. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So we got one. Oops. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of chili powder in our bowl. Now you may be asking, why don't you just throw it in there with the meat? Because we don't want that meat to catch one of those spices wrong and light up your world. We've got 1 teaspoon of oregano leaves. And we're going to take a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Whoop! It's all right. No worries, it's just our marinade anyway. 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and we're going to set that off to the side because we're going to need that while we cook. Now look, my recipe calls for 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. I do not have red wine vinegar in my house at the moment. What I have is balsamic vinegar. And you may be saying, oh, well, that's fine, just do that. Understand, balsamic vinegar is reduced vinegar, and it has sugar. Normally, you'd put half a tablespoon of sugar into this, but since I'm using balsamic vinegar, I'm going to omit that sugar. And because it's balsamic and not red wine, we're going to just add an 1/8 of a cup of white vinegar to that. Vinegar's vinegar, folks. All right. So now we have made our 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Additionally to this, now I like pepper grinders. You're just going to salt and pepper to taste. I give it a good, 6, 7, maybe 10 grinds of that grinder. And you're going to put salt in there. Now, if you're on a low sodium diet, don't panic. You don't have to put the salt. But you want about a quarter teaspoon of salt in there. Remember, that vinegar is salty, so you don't need a ton. All right, guys. Now, at this point, just going to take a little fork, whisk it up real quick. I got a couple of little clumps of garlic powder in here because my garlic powder, unfortunately, is a little lumpy, but that's okay. There was one point where my dad, I was in there cooking a dinner similar to this, in fact, and I told him, oh, shoot, you don't have this. He says, well, do I need to go out to the store? Do I need to go get this? And I said, Daddy, it's fine. I'll just use this instead. I think it was like he was out of basil, and I told him I didn't necessarily need it. I could make do. I could use Italian seasoning instead because it's got basil in it. Well, and I'm just wiping out the herbs that stuck to the side of my bowl with some beef. You know, what better way to get them in there, right? All right, guys, so we're going to loosely mix this. See how we're just kind of coating our beef with that? Want to make sure that all those seasonings get to the bottom of the bowl. Ooh, I wish we had smell-o-vision. You could smell how good this smells. I love the smell of balsamic vinegar myself. Okay, you see how my meat's nicely coated in that bowl. Let me take off my glove. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of saran wrap over this and put it into the fridge for about an hour so that it can marinate. Trust me, you want this beef to marinate. Now, if you are going to do this, say, the next day, and you want to just get a jump on making it, you can go ahead and put it in there and marinate it overnight. It's fine. It won't hurt anything, but you don't have to. It needs to marinate for at least an hour so that you get a good flavor to it. And I'm going to put a piece of saran over my peppers and onions. You don't want to leave them hanging out on your counter because once you cut them, the acids in them start working and they will start browning and turn ugly. Now, you can do this recipe with frozen vegetables, although I don't recommend it. Now, remember that those were 3 stoplight peppers if you're using the regular size. I used most of a small bag of the little mini peppers because I like the sweetness of them, and a medium onion that you cut up into matchsticks. So we're going to put all this in our fridge, and we're going to come back to you in 1 hour. All right, hang tight. All right, folks, we're back. We've marinated our beef for about an hour. Ooh, I wish you could see this. I mean, wish you could smell it. It smells so good. I am so hungry right now, it's not funny. So, as you can see, our beef is in here, nicely marinated. Look at that. Looks like you could almost eat it just like is, but don't suggest eating raw beef, just, you know. Now, I did trim that stew meat of as much fat as I could, but I like to leave a little bit on there, especially with fajitas, because it really does enhance the flavor. And as you can see, there's marinade in the bottom. Now, you can add an additional 2 tablespoons of oil to your frying pan when you get ready to saute your vegetables and your beef. I like to do them all together because then the vegetables get all of that good flavor that meat has. And I don't think that it overcooks it, although these smaller peppers may take less time to cook. So we're going to start by sauteing our beef, and then we're going to put in our peppers. So, I don't always start with a hot skillet. You can if you choose to do so. Now remember, you could have added sugar to that marinade, but like I said, I used balsamic vinegar, which already has a kind of sugary, since it's reduced, the sugars are already there, and I don't think it needs it. So, we're going to start. I'm going to put it on medium-high, and we're going to let it come up to temp. And you'll start hearing it when it starts sizzling. Now, if you think that it needs a little extra, you can always do your beef separate from your vegetables. That's fine. I like to throw mine in so they get that marinade flavor all over them too. But like I said, we're just going to wait for this to come up. My burner's already cooking and getting ready. So, now, the reason we did fajitas around Christmas time is everybody has their own traditions. And what we did, we get tired of the same old every night. And it's always nice to have that fresh pop of vegetables and to have something that's not traditionally served around Christmas. Now, if you haven't checked out some of our other videos, we have a ton up on the website right now. We have faux Thanksgiving and Mongolian beef in a slow cooker. And you'll see our recent one was pot roast and vegetables in a slow cooker. We also have several different things going on. So just check out some of the other videos. You might find something else that might be handy. Taco soup's always a favorite around here. And I know you're thinking, taco soup. Well, taco soup tastes like taco in a bowl. It's really good. But, you know, we do all kind of things on this channel. And I try to make things that everybody will enjoy. So this one's going up right before Christmas. And Christmas Day, we're going to do a baked macaroni and cheese. And I'm going to try to upload that one early in the morning so that you can cook it for Christmas dinner if you choose to. So we're going to do a baked macaroni and cheese. That was always a favorite around my house. And I do make my cheese sauce homemade. So just letting you know that one's coming up. We're also going to be doing a buttermilk pie soon. And that's a good Southern tradition. Some of you may like it. Some of you may not. Some of you may just want to try it just for grins and giggles. So we hope that if you like the video, you'll give us a like. And perhaps if you've enjoyed any of the other videos, you'll give us a subscribe. And if you want to know when those videos hit the line, you'll just hit that subscription bell, that notification bell. And you'll be able to know when we upload a new video every time. It'll pop up on your phone for a notification. So, like I said, we're going to get this beef started. As you can see, we're already starting to bubble. And boy, it smells so good. I'm starving, I tell you. You can tell I'm just wasting away here. But anyway, you can put a lid on the skillet if you want to make it go a little bit faster, but I don't think you really need to. You can also cook these in a wok if you have a wok. The wok distributes the temperature around on food a lot easier, so it kind of fries up a little faster. And hopefully soon we're going to get a wok and be able to show you some of my stir-fry recipes. I do a happy family, which is chicken, beef, and pork stir-fry with a lot of vegetables. Of course, you can make almost everything I make vegetarian. You could use soy, tofu for the beef or the chicken. You could use just vegetables. You could always do a stir-fry instead and put that in your fajitas. So just know, there are adaptations you can make. Whew, like I said, I wish you could smell this beef cooking. Now, when your beef starts to really get going, and mine's already starting to gel pretty well, because my pieces are not cut huge. I showed y'all I have little tongues of beef. So, once it really starts to get bubbling and going, if you think you need more liquid, put 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in. I have mine on standby just in case. But I don't think I'm going to need it. And the marinade is good for cooking your veggies in. Anyway, if you just want to drain your marinade off and just cook your beef, you can do that too. Theoretically, you could do this in a full pouch in the oven in a 400-degree oven and cook it for about an hour, and you'll get the same results, although your vegetables won't be quite as crispy. All right, so my beef is really starting to get it right now. So and I know everybody's saying, whoo, you're using stew meat. You could use steak. You could use a roast. It doesn't matter. You could do all of those things. You could do chicken. If you find chicken's a little cheaper, you could always do chicken. Like I said, I wouldn't do shrimp this way. I have a great shrimp taco recipe that I'll be showing y'all soon. Now, as my beef is cooking, I want to get that flavor of those peppers and onions in there. So I'm going to lay them on top to begin with. And you see, my skillet is full, buddy boy. We're going to eat good tonight. Rinse my hand off real quick. Alrighty, get back to it. So, as my beef is cooking, I'm going to get it down in there because I like my onions to flavor my beef and those peppers to get that flavor in there. So I'm just moving it around, uncovering some of the beef, tossing it in there. Now, you're going to cook this down until your beef is cooked, and it won't take long if you've cut it in as small pieces as I did, as thin pieces. And your onions will turn translucent, and you want to do it not too much longer than that because your peppers will get all wilty and floppy. Nobody likes floppy peppers. So you want to just keep it moving so that nothing burns and get down in there. Now I'm going to put a lid on this for about 5 minutes and let that cook down a little bit. If you have any Christmas traditions, share with us in the comment section. I'd love to answer some comments. So far, all we've gotten were spam bot comments for sex sites, so that's a little disheartening. But that's okay. We just deleted them and moved on with our day because, you know, we can't control what other people do. But we can sure bet that they're not going to be on our webpage. But anyway. So, being here in Texas, I've learned there's a lot of foods that we eat here now. You know, now I'm here. We eat it here that we didn't used to make a lot. And we always make fajitas in Louisiana. And if you're in a time crunch, don't feel bad about having to use a mix. It's okay. But I did want to give you the option of making your own marinade and giving you a good recipe for that has a lot of flavor and, you know, if you already have the stuff in your cabinet, you're not having to spend on that packet of marinade mix. So, but we are almost there, guys. Truly almost there. I thought I was going to have to put a lid on it and kind of get it going, but I think we're good. But anyway, I try to do things as often as I can without a packet or a mix. That's why my chili recipe that we're going to be putting up soon is all from scratch. I make my own seasoning blend, and it's pretty daggone good chili. And unfortunately, the last time I made chili, my wife was sleeping, so that was a no-go on filming chili that day. But I showed you how to make chili from dry beans. And that's definitely a wintertime food for us because there's just something good and hearty about a hot bowl of chili on a cold night. But as you can see, my fajitas are almost done. And we are going to heat up our tortillas and get that rolling. And we are going to eat our dinner. But as you can see, it's nice, it's colorful, and that beef is nice and tender after marinating for an hour. Although it was a little closer to 2 for us, but that's okay. It all works out, doesn't it? All right, my friends, that looks like it is about done. It definitely smells like it's done. So let me get a towel folded up so I don't harm my countertop. and show you what that looks like. Alrighty. So we've got our fajita mixture right here, and look at all that sauce in there, all that juice in there. Oof. All the peppers and onions, and you can see my onions are starting to turn translucent. I didn't want to go too far because I like a little crunch to my onions in these. And we always serve them up with a little bit of sour cream and salsa on top. But you can see it's nice, it's colorful, it's fresh. And the reason I use stoplight peppers instead of the green peppers is the green peppers tend to give me heartburn. And my father-in-law, when I asked, were they just riper, when I asked him about the orange, yellow, and reds, he says no, they're still in the same family of pepper, but they're just another variety. So I learned something new. But we're going to serve these up with a little bit of salsa and sour cream on a nice big tortilla, and we're going to chow down in just a minute. So from all of us here at Bougie Comfort Food, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Thanks for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Thanks. Bye. Save a place for me.